Great. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. How are you? I hope you had a great day. Wow. People are still coming in. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, my goodness. Wow. You're all here already. I see you. Annabelle. Hi, Annabelle. Tell us who invited you. I see you, Roz. I see you, Mimi. I see you, Eunice, Yinka, Ijeoma, Victor. Oh my goodness. Welcome. I see you, Nana. Of course I see you, Nana. Wow. Okay, Nana, I'm going to make you a co-host as well. So just bear with me one moment. Right. Where is it disappearing to? Keeps disappearing. Your name keeps disappearing, Nana. Awesome. Great. Right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ronke, aka Limitless Lauretta. You ready for my surname? You got to hold your seat, baby, because you're going to roll off. That name is too long, right? Okay, my surname is Ronke. My surname is Ronke. Can you imagine? That's what happens when your surname is too long. Okay, my surname is Adedojo DBgo. I'm your hostess for tonight, and I'm really excited, to host you all. We have an amazing speaker in our midst this evening, but we're just waiting for more of you to come in, and we have some exciting things for you this evening. So first, I want you to put your name in the chat box, because guess what? You might be getting a gift. So you don't want to miss that gift, do you? So tell us your name, who invited you, right? And what you're most excited about tonight, right? This is in honor of Black History Month, and we're using this opportunity to give back to our community, by inspiring people to greatness, right? So I know that we're all here to listen to this amazing speaker that we have tonight. But we want to get to meet you. So just put your name in the chat box. Tell us who invited you, where you're dialing in from. If you're able to turn on your camera, that would be great. But if you're not able to turn on your camera, that's okay. But we'd love to hear from you, right? Okay, super. So who is going to open the mic? You're not going to leave me on my own, are you? Oh, you don't want me to get to know you. Oh, right. I see Bumi. I see you, Bumi. Can you hear me? Right. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, because it's like I'm talking to myself. Okay, brilliant.
So we can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, you just don't want to tell me, a little about you and who invited you, right? Oh, dear. Okay, super. Right, tonight I also have an amazing co-host, and she's going to be helping me with our beautiful slides. Okay, I see someone now. Ijele. Hi, Ijele.
Hello, I'm Alexandra. Actually, I have to change that name. It's Alexandra.
It's Alexandra, right? Okay, so who is Ijele?
Yeah.
Who is Ijele then?
I'm also Ijele. That's my native name. That's my traditional name.
There's no need to change it, baby. We love Ijele, okay? IJ for short, isn't it?
Thank you.
Welcome, Ijele. Who invited you?
My director invited me. I actually ran now from the meeting we just concluded.
Oh,
I ran from her to join you.
Oh, that's awesome. Welcome. We're excited to have you here. Okay, cool.
We also have in the chat, Annabelle was invited by Antonia. And
wow.
Then we have Eunice, lives in Reading, was invited by Loretta.
Wow.
And we have Rizwana, was invited by Angel, and she's from London.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, please. Thank you so much, Nana. Help me write their names down, because they're going to get a gift. You're going to get a gift from the person who invited you here today. So make sure that your name is in that chat box, okay? Right. So, Are you ready for me? Hello,
Yeah.
Are you ready for me? What do we have on the first slide, baby? Awesome. Okay, great. So would like to, again, this is an event organized by the Limitless team and friends, and we have some amazing leaders in the house. I'm sure by the way we're all looking, you can tell exactly what we're really all about here, right? But I'm not going to say anything yet. Okay, so but we have some amazing leaders in the house. They're powerful women in their own right. They lead an organization of beauty consultants across United Kingdom and Ireland. And I'd like them to introduce themselves quickly. If you can talk, are you there? Director Antonia, Director Tony, are you there?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome. Director Antonia, where are you from? Where are you dialing in
Okay,
from?
so my name is Antonia Bisi Adeboale. I'm from West Yorkshire, England. I'm the sales director of the Amazing Stars.
Wow, awesome. Round of applause for her.
And I've been building my business for almost close to 18 years now.
What? 18 years. That's consistency. Wow, and that's legacy, right? So this is Black History Month, Black Hair Story Month, Black women, Black brilliant women in business. Please give her a round of applause. Woo! Well done, Director Antonia. And over to you, Dr. Toyin.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome
Hello,
to
Dr.
another
Toyin.
awesome Monday. My name is Toyin Magbagiola. I've been running my Mary Kay business. It's going to be 27 years next month. I'm a proud director of the Dazzling Eagles. I love my Mary Kay. Have a great evening.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Any other director in the house? I see a senior in the house. Okay. So we're moving on. Thank you so much, directors. Thank you for coming to celebrate Black History Month with us, and coming to celebrate our brilliant speaker tonight as well. Okay, next slide. Right. Okay. So I have a question for you all. Okay, this is another teaser. So who knows the title of this event? Hey, I like it being interactive, ladies. You know, we're Black brilliant women. Okay.
Monday Night Live.
No, that's not the title of the event. Okay, who else? Come on.
This
Unleashing Limitless Possibilities.
Thank you very much. Unleashing Limitless Possibilities. So I'm really looking at the timer. I'm going to give you 1 minute, right? Are you ready? 1 minute. You ready? Okay, no looking at Google, right? Not picking up your dictionary. I want you to put in the chat box in 1 minute. Define what the word unleash means to you. Let's go. Let's see who's gonna get my gift. Okay, someone said release. I shouldn't say anything. Put something. Okay. Get out of yourself. I'm loving that. Oh my goodness. 25 seconds gone. Going. Who's ready? Oh my goodness. Who is ready? Looking at the time. 15 seconds more. Ready? We're almost there. Done. Right, so cut off right now. Pencils up. Chat prefect, Nana, read to me. What do we have there? Are you there, Nana?
I was going off mute.
Okay.
So we have wow. Okay, we have release, unleash, get out of yourself, unravel, get the potential out, rediscover, to put out, release, uncover, pushing beyond your limit, rise, let loose, unravel your potential, free, birthing thoughts, release, let go.
Awesome. Wow. You guys are brilliant Black women indeed, right? Okay, so hi, come on. I'm generalizing here. So I'm going to retract that. You all are brilliant women, because I don't know, you know, if we have some Caucasians in our midst tonight, or we are all women and we're celebrating ourselves tonight. So please give yourselves a big round of applause. Again, put those names, you know, write those names down for me. Anyone who invited such guests who have written, you know, the meaning to the word, in the they are going to get a gift. Please, if you've got background noise around you, please feel free to mute yourself. And if you need to ask a question, please feel free to use the to raise your hands, or, you know, to unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a quick information for you before we bring up our amazing speaker. Over to you, Madam Angel. Right. Okay, please hold it. Hold it there. Hold it. Okay. If you hold on 1 minute. Thank you. Right. Please, can you scroll that to the beginning? And we couldn't hear the sound. So okay, so hold it. Can you pause it? Can you pause it? Thank you. Right. Okay. So just in case this is your first time on Monday Night Live event, it's an event held by the Limitless team. And the Limitless team is an amazing group of people developing limitless mindset, unleashing boundless creativity, achieving financial freedom, and changing their community for good. Every Monday night, we come together as a community to celebrate one another. Co-host, please, can you help me mute? Okay, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to mute everyone. And then if you need to speak, please feel free to unmute yourself or use the button. Thank you very much. Okay, I hope you can all still hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great, 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 great. Okay, so we have another giveaway, a special giveaway. Who loves lip glosses? Put me in the chat box. Today might be your lucky day. Make sure you don't miss it, right? Especially if you're a guest. Sarah loves, oh, right. Everybody loves lip gloss, right? Okay, great. So we've got a short information for you, because as a woman who wants to unleash, you know, boundless creativity, a woman who wants to unleash confidence, a woman who wants to be the best at what she does, needs to know how to put her best face forward, right? And one of the first things you notice on your face is your what? Your lips, isn't it? Okay, so we've got some amazing lip glosses that can help you put your best face forward. But today, right, somebody is going to be earning a lip gloss completely free. So what do you need to do to earn, to get into the drawing, right? You're going to watch this short infomercial, and I want you to write out your top 3. And if you're daring enough, you can pick your top 5 lip glosses, right? Everybody gets to get something, but one person is going to get a lip gloss completely free. Are you ready for me? You got your pen and your paper? Okay, let's take it away. Thank you so much, Madam Angel. Thank you so much. Right. Did you get to write? Who wrote up to 5? 5. Okay, put it in the chat box. Put your name before you start writing, okay? And the person who invited you, so we know how to get the gift across to you, okay? So, and awesome. Okay, so I'll take that again. Please put your name in the chat box first, and then follow on with the with your top 3 lip glosses, either top 3 or your top 5, okay? And don't touch the dial, hang around till the end, and we will tell you who the winner of our special giveaway is today, okay? And even if you don't win, don't lose heart, because guess what? You will get a consolation prize. Are we ready? Next slide, Madam Angel, our speaker's slide. Thank you so much. I'm so excited and so honored that we have an amazing lady in our midst. Right, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly, do we still have the other slide? The one that has the bio? The one we did. Before the one I'm going to read to you. The one we did yesterday. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, can you all still hear me? Is it my internet? What's going on?
No, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so are you ready? Thank you, Madam Angel. Wow. Right, so this lady is so accomplished that if we were to read everything that she's accomplished to you, we wouldn't leave this platform tonight. Isn't that amazing? That deserves a big round of applause, right? That a woman like you and I has achieved so much. It's really exciting. So, but I'm quickly going to just run through her bio from the screen. The wonderful lady we're introducing to you tonight is none other than Jane Egerton Ideha. She is the head of sales for Middle East and Africa at Facebook, otherwise known as Meta. She's an epitome of beauty, as you would soon see. Epitome of beauty, intelligence, perseverance, unmatched ambition, and tenacity to excel in a male-dominated field such as engineering. She has studied at Yale, Harvard, and the University of Warwick, where she obtained a master's in business administration. Jane has many feathers on her cap: a tech executive, an author, a speaker, an influencer, a wife, a mother of 2, and a rare ability to achieve work-life balance. Like the Holy Writ says, in a period of casting down, there shall be a lifting up. The amazing story of Jane Egerton Ideha is a grass to grace one, moving from the slums of Ajegunle to the countryside of Dublin. Stop it right there. How many of you know Ajegunle, right? Okay, what can I compare it to, right? Around here. You can put it in the chat box. So Jane is such an amazing, Jane's testimony is such an amazing one, you know, moving from grace to grass, from Ajegule to the countryside of Dublin. Her first job was managing satellite links as an Earth space engineer. That was an opportunity that came to her through the advice of a kind secretary after weeks of scouting Lagos in search of a job. She spent a month cloning and selling computers at another firm within the vicinity to make enough money to continue to commute from Ajegule to the island where the company was located. Jane had actually been an astute sales expert 11 years ago, okay, right? And she was the acting customer team head at MTN. Then she left for Ericsson and became key account manager in Ghana and Liberia. She spent 5 years at Ericsson and as country manager and sales director at Avanti Communications Group PLC. See, I told you, you know, there's so much, isn't it? Her current job came as heaven sent, courtesy LinkedIn platform recruitment too. So, one of the reasons why we're doing this is not just for our business alone, but to really enlighten women across UK and Ireland that whatever you want, you can have it. We have great tools, you know, that we have access to. Everybody in the UK and Ireland has access to such tools like LinkedIn. Please, ladies and gentlemen, use your LinkedIn. Okay, so back to the script. So September 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, I was contacted by a headhunter on LinkedIn after apparently checking my LinkedIn profile, Jane says. After a couple of phone calls with him where he explained to me about the job opening and the role, he caught my attention. I sent through my CV and we started the recruitment process. I did all the required interviews via video calls and finally landed a new job in an industry I had always aspired to work for. This job would also be a huge transition for me as I would be relocating to a new continent from Lagos, Nigeria to Dublin, Ireland in Europe. All of this happened because of social media and the internet. Let that sink in. This all happened without meeting anyone physically. This is the power of social media and the internet. In fact, this is the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me that lady on a mission, the tenacious lady, the powerful, brilliant, inspiring, and intelligent, none other engineer, Jane Ideha Agaton.
Just listening to you, I'm like, wow. Are you sure you're not going to add another skill set to your list of responsibilities?
Oh my
But
God.
thank you so much. I'm really super happy to be here. It's really, really nice because we did start this conversation. I think it was a month ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
We're both we're having coffee in the UK, and she was sharing a lot about this forum, about, you know, you passionate women and all the things you're doing. And she's like, you must come and, you know, speak to my team. And I told her, like, if it's a group of women that this passionate, I'm coming. I'm coming. So I'm really happy to be here and I'm really glad. I'm going to share some of my thoughts today and I'll definitely open it up for questions. I do love, I know you had mentioned that, okay, I do love a very interactive session. So I would talk through, I had like 7 things I had in my head. I thought maybe it would be good to share with you guys. Is it possible I can share my screen?
Yes, of course.
Yes, if you could give me, I had put some slides together so that, yeah, okay, thanks. I think I can now share. So I can share, then that would be a good one. Interesting. I don't think it's not letting me share.
I've made you co-host.
Yes, okay. I suspect it might not even be, okay, let me just try again. I think it's the firewall.
Right.
Okay, I will do something. If you guys will give me a minute.
Yeah.
I can see you.
Can you see the screen?
I can see you, but not your screen. But I'm excited to have you here with us
Oh,
today.
thank you. Thank you. I was thinking about the screen. Okay, you know what? I would dial in. I'll keep talking, but I would dial in from another screen as well.
Okay.
I think with that one I can share.
Okay, great.
So that I can share. I would love to share the screen. I think it will make our conversation easy. So while I talk, and I thank you, Ronke, thank you for sharing all that story. I was like, wow. So you were actually taking notes while we were chatting. I didn't know that. Because some of those things is only our discussion. You wouldn't have found it any other place. The conversations we had that day in London. I'm going to share today about beyond passion. Because I see a lot of time we talk about passion. And I know what we really want to do is just, we talked about, the key theme for us or today being unleashing those limitless possibilities. I think someone in the group chat got the answer right when you were asking about the topic for the day. But I really want to share about what it means to actually go beyond passion. So I'm dialing in from another screen as I'm doing this, so I can share from that one. I think this laptop I have has a problem. And I was inspired by a post I put up like a month ago. I went to Saudi Arabia. So my job covers the Middle East and Africa. So I'd gone to Saudi Arabia for the first time. Okay, great.
Recording in progress.
I'm going to.
So what you want to do, Jane, if you log out of that device again and log back, but this time around, don't add audio. Otherwise, you'll be having feedback. So on this one that you've got your video, leave the audio on, but on the one where you want to share the slide, do not add audio. Oh, have we lost Jane? Oh dear, what happened?
No, she's here. We can see her.
She's there with the other device. Yeah.
Okay.
You're on mute, Jane.
You're muted. You need to unmute.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't know if we have to give this device permission.
Yes, we will. So.
Okay, good.
Let's see. Find you.
Guys, just indulge us for a second. It would be unfair if I don't get to share this. I think it will put a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Interesting. It's made me host, but I don't know if it doesn't have a share option.
Bottom.
No, it should have, but okay, great. I think I've seen it. Yay! You see, you just have to hang in there. Good. So I was inspired by this because sometimes people ask the question, what does it take to be successful? And I think people in this room, most of you are on that journey, like seeing the amazing things you guys are doing. When she was talking about the group, I was like, wow, these are women. I would love to be in their midst. But I know that if I look at my journey, it's way beyond passion. But I know we always talk about passion. You're like, oh, you have to put some passion there. If you have passion. And I do agree that you need passion. But if I do reflect back on my journey, I think you need more than passion. You definitely need that energy to keep you going because it creates that excitement, especially when things are tough. It's that excitement that probably will make you also hang in there. But sometimes the way the term is used, it looks like that's the only thing, like you only need that emotion. But I don't agree. But I will still put some context. Like we really need the passion. But I'm also of the school of thought that passion itself can be, in a way you can seek it and find it, but in a way you can just discover it by uncovering it. So I'll tell a smart story being a mom. I'm sure there are lots of mothers here. So the beautiful picture you see there, my kids, and in their own way, they are different. It's reflecting, I discovered that they are different. So my son, when he was younger, he was 4, he's very high. Now he's very quiet, he barely talks. He was very hyperactive. And one of the things I decided to do as a mom was expose them. And exposing them, hopefully I'll find something that they love or they're passionate about. So what I did with my son was we were everywhere. We tried soccer. He didn't like soccer. He was one of those ones that'll talk more on the field. Like, pass me the ball, send the ball there. But he wasn't playing the ball. So we left that one. We tried tennis. We tried golf. Then we tried piano. So he started playing, at least playing with the piano when he was 4. My biggest goal for him was that could I get him to the point where I don't have to remind him to play piano? He's so passionate about it that he will play by himself. I don't want to stand by the piano saying, okay, you only played for 10 minutes. Can we make it 30? Like every mom, you're looking for that sweet spot where the children own it and they're motivated to do it. I didn't realize, and it just became something I felt, it would never be whatever, until my son was 14. And I woke up one Saturday, it was a Saturday morning, to the sound of sweet music in my house. It was like I was in a jazz band, someone was playing. I was like, what's going on? Well, the part of me wanted to panic and say, hey, it's too early to play this thing. And the part of me said, finally, I think we got there. I didn't remind him, it was actually his composition. He loves jazz. So he was playing around something new, but it was sounding so good that I had to go to him. I'm like, wow, whatever you played, I really liked it. If you could play more, that was good. So that's my son. Now my daughter, I tried the same strategy. So I'm like sending her to ballet school. I've been sending her to ballet school since she was 3. Like this ballet thing, we have been at a teacher's assessment, we're going up and down. But I realized like 2-3 years ago, she would be flip-flopping around my house. Like I didn't take particular attention because, I know that we go for ballet Tuesdays and Saturdays. That's our routine until we can get her to that point. It never was happening, but she kept telling me that the teacher wanted to see me. I'm like, what teacher wants to see me in school? Have you done anything horrible? No, whatever. She couldn't tell me the full story. You just have to show up. And I showed up in school to find out that I was owing because my daughter has signed herself up for gymnastics. And that's why she was flipping around my house. So now they said I had a bill because she had some assessments. I'm like, when did all this happen? Like, why would I be paying? Until the guy told me, the instructor, oh, no, she's very good. I would advise you to pay. She is really, really good. And this assessment, not everybody makes it to it. So in her case, she discovered her own passion, however you want to call it. In my son's case, we walked up to the point that something he was doing, he became passionate about it. And I think that's how passion could work in life. But I know that it's also beyond passion. I thought I'd just put that perspective out there. Now, whatever we are talking about today is beyond passion. And the first thing I would like you to consider, which I know maybe some of you will be doing, but I know it's been very helpful, is purpose. In whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to unleash, I think the difference is that you do have a direction, the why. And I say this again and again when I talk to people. I think one of the biggest things that anchored me, shut out the noise and kept me focused is the why. And I tell people that, I'm like, everybody on social media is not playing. A couple of people there have their agendas, and not in a bad way. Because when you have defined your why, you decide what the tools are to uncover the why or to deliver the why. And that's why sometimes it's not advisable to just do whatever people are doing. You don't know the why. And it's the why, I think, that keeps you going. Because you have a why, and sometimes people don't get it together, but the why, it takes out all the noise, all the distraction. You keep at it. And I hear some of you, I was very impressed. One lady said she had been at Mary Kay doing it for like 20 years. So impressed. Now, if you have a why, you don't worry because you know your direction. But I am just putting out there that I think is something you should consider if you haven't decided what your why is. Why are you in this group? Why is Mary Kay so important? Why are you combining this with your personal career? Or why are you doing this? I will suggest to you that just like passion, there's no right or wrong way to get your why. You could uncover it. Okay, you could name it and walk along with it. Just say, this is going to be my why. I've always been flexible. I've always believed your why could evolve. As you know better, you can change it. But I know that when you have a why, you can shut out the noise. And it's so important with what you're doing. When people come and chit chat and tell you, because you know your journey and where you're headed, you don't get distracted. You don't get confused. You don't get envious. You don't even compete. Because you're literally competing with yourself. Because you've defined your why and you're trying to achieve your why. And I think that's the best place. At least that's where I find that when I do that, I'm centered and I achieve the most results. So definitely that's the whole big thing about life. We uncover our why, we walk towards a why, and it keeps us going. But apart from the why, I think there's something else I would like to share, which is courage, because that's the theme around the book I wrote. And the way I define courage is slightly different. I don't think courage is doing things because you are so confident and you're so bold. It is good. I think courage is doing it irrespective of that. So even when you're scared, the biggest milestones I've achieved, moving to sales from engineering, moving to Dublin, these are things I have really done scared. I know people read the articles and it looks so easy. Like, oh, she just got this job. It was sleepless nights of conversations and discussions. And sometimes telling you, are you crazy? I remember the first time I got a management job and I had to move because the role required that I live in another country. And I was living with my kids and my husband was in a different country. A couple of people felt that was like, is that not a stupid thing to do? Why would you do that? I'd rather be with my husband. But years later, and it will happen again and again and again. When I decided that, okay, I really want to study engineering, because I got into school not to study engineering. And I was like, no, that's been always my first choice. So I would, do whatever it really can be done to change that and go back to engineering. I know people thought that was not a smart move. Just stay where you are, graduate, you soon graduate. So time and time again, I have done these things scared. And I want you to know that you can relate to that. You will do them scared. That's the difference, is that you will do them. It might be uncertain, it might be scary. Of course, you do your research, you try and articulate your risk and see how you want to intervene. But the truth is that it will be scary because the journey sometimes is lonely. I did write an article about it that is lonely at the top. It is lonely because a lot of other people don't have to make the sacrifices you make. Probably most of you here are building a brand, building a business. Because I see that as building a brand. Because you're building that brand where you are known for this and you're known for that. And when you do that, because time is given to it, a time you could have been spent hanging out with people or just whatever you want to do. You are focusing that time to build this business, to still work on your careers, to be a mom, to do all this kind that you don't have to be frank. You can take the easy way out. But I know that it's only those that make those courageous steps. Those are the people that have always stood out. And when the story is told, it's for that. I know this week, my alma mater. So I did an MBA in University of Warwick. I did Warwick Business School. They were celebrating what we call the change makers. They have a couple of change makers, and I was very humbled that I was chosen as one of them. But some of the things they chose me for and some of the things I learned the hard way and I did really scared. It wasn't things that was easy for me. So courage is definitely very important on the journey. But something else apart from courage I would like to share is something I learned. I really wanted to share it in this form because I think for most women, it's some of the things that are missing, like using your superpower. Another way I will say, so there are two things I will talk about here, is daring to be bad. I'll tell you the story about daring to be bad. So like every woman, I wanted to be a superwoman. You know, I want to have it all, do it all, everywhere, all the time. When I moved to that country I was telling you about, I struggled in the beginning. Because in the beginning, that was me, the superwoman. I will work Monday to Friday. Then I'll fly all the way to Lagos to spend the weekend with my husband. So I take the flight, the last flight out of Accra, like literally tired, 7 p.m. I will get to Lagos around maybe 8 p.m. By the time I get my luggage is 9. By the time I get the taxi, get home is 11 p.m. I am not even kind of, I am tired. Then I sleep off. I wouldn't wake up till like midday Saturday or late Saturday. Then Sunday again, at some point my husband was like, this isn't working. This isn't working. You're not even spending any quality time with me. You just come and you sleep the whole weekend. Why are you doing this? Maybe you should just stay there and I'll come and meet you and the kids, because you're kind of doing a lot. And lots of women, we're always in that space. We think we owe it to everybody. We want to be the best. I went to Harvard to run a leadership course, and I will never forget this session I had with Frances Frey. It was literally about unlocking the client's potential. So for people that are customer facing, but what she was teaching us as women is to dare to be bad. Give yourself permission to be bad at some things. Don't try and do it all. And I would explain that context. You don't have to be good at everything. You have to be choosing, or you have to choose the things you want to be good at and be damn good at them. Don't try and do it all. You could use literally lots of tools. You can use the tool of delegating. I do that a lot. Or outsourcing, if you want to call it that way. So for example, my entire social media is managed by my assistant. People think that I'm always there posting all those things. She's so good. Who's so good? I've just found a smart way to do it. You can call it smart work. I delegate, it costs me nothing. She's an intern. She just graduated looking for something to do. Like, I gave her a job and I pay her. It's not an expense. It doesn't cost me so much. Of course, the downside is that you have to change them, because once they get a formal job, then you lose them. So most times I only keep them for like a year. But the good thing is that they're giving me the results I want. So learn to use delegating or outsourcing. If you don't have to do all that domesticated work. Okay, I struggle now in Europe, but I know when I was on the continent, in Africa, I literally delegated everything. So I had someone to help me with the cleaning or the domestic work, and I paid for that service. In Europe, I slightly do it differently because it cost me more to do that. But definitely with babysitting, I'm now sourcing it. You literally have to prioritize and decide. You can't be good at everything. Please don't try and be good at everything. Be good at what's important. And people ask me all the time, how do you do it all? I'm like, you know what? It's not how do I do it all. I just prioritize. I determine what is really important. Spending time with the family is important. It's a no-go area. My career is really important. That's another no-go area. My spiritual life or personal life, in trying to get myself centered, is really important. Every other thing will hang in there. So what I do is that when any of these three is falling apart, I give it all my attention. It doesn't mean they don't fall apart. It means that they get priority. If anything, like I'll give you a good example. I haven't seen my husband since like late July because I've been traveling. So last week, I literally sneaked into Lagos. The only two people that I knew I was in Lagos, my boss and my colleague that saw me booking the ticket. Even my daughter did not know I was traveling. She thought, oh, she's coming back to Dublin. My husband was in Lagos. But I knew that if I didn't go, I probably wouldn't see him for another 2 months. But spending that time with him was so important. So nobody knew I was in town, at least till the end of the visit. Then people knew I was in town. So I'm just saying that you have to agree and tell yourself the ones you can be bad in. And it's okay, like the house is unkept. Like if that's what you choose to be bad, it's not a priority. Would it stop you from achieving the key goals? Well, maybe not. You clean it once a week, would it, so don't be, because the truth is that you can't do it all, but you can make sure you keep your eyes on the priority. And I believe in using your superpower. So I believe in operating from a place of strength. That means go for your strengths, use your strength, anchor things around your strengths. So you see that the things I really want to go for, push for, are things around my strength because they come so easy and natural to you. So think about it. If your strength places you naturally at a 7 on a 10-point scale, when you invest in it, educate yourself, upskill yourself, you're going to be almost at a 9 or a 10. There'll be very few people that can match you at that scale. That's my own theory. So I invest in the strength. The ones that are not strengths, we go by the next ways. The delegation, the outsourcing. And I could share some more tips on what you could do with those ones. But I would say focus, because when is your strength? First of all, you already have an innate natural talent or skill to do it easy. Then think about when you upskill it, when you invest in it. You do it like there'll be very few people at par with you, and you look so good at it. And you could apply that to everything you do. So when I mean your strength is this your skill sets that are key strength. So it could be you're extroverted. That could be a strength in terms of in the work you do or in running your own business. You look for anchoring that. Think about it. You're Mary Kay. You're working with that brand, and if I'm extroverted, maybe I should host events that are more extroverted related and use that to anchor my products or drive my sales. And if you're introverted, do the same. We don't have to do it the same way.
Yeah.
Because I tell people some of my greatest salespeople are introverts. They're not extroverts. While I will go all the way, organize an event, everybody come for dinner, make a loud noise. That's me. I take energy off people. I feed off that energy, and that's how I roll. An introvert doesn't want that. They don't want crowd, not too many people, one-on-one. But they still achieve the same result. Because if you stake your we call it like a power map very well, you know who's really important. If you've gone for them, you walk with them, you can achieve. So think about it. A good example to tell you how an introvert could do this is that when I got into Lagos, after not living in Lagos for 4 years, I didn't have a very good network. I was looking at building a network. I only made one friend. I met a lady. I'm like, oh, can you help me? I'm trying to build a network. I want to build a network outside tech. I need to know people that are not in tech. 1 year later, I was hosting a dinner. So that's the extroverted part of me. All the ladies I've met within that year, like, I want you guys to all meet yourselves. And I sat at that table. 90% of the ladies at that table, there were 20 of them, were introduced to me by one person. Different fields and sectors. So that's how an introvert would do it. You will be more strategic and stake it. They don't want to put their energies everywhere, just one-on-one. So I'm just saying, operate from your place of strength. So that's how I would do it if I was into, and that's how people sell too. You use your strength. Don't try and be somebody else. You can do it, but you do it differently. That's it. So I would say do that. So even using tech, I use tech a lot. You could find ways. You could be scheduling, and like I schedule posts, I schedule meetings, I do a lot of things on auto. So not like I'm a super person. I just work smart. You're looking for tools that can give you efficiencies. I look for skills. Just a quick example, like social media. What I do is easy. I have a speaking engagement. I take that whole material and turn it into social media posts. And you could do the same. You have an event with people. You take the core material from the event and you could turn it into posts. Or you do something, one of your Mary Kay events, and you think they're good insights. You turn it into posts. And sometimes it's just to do it smartly. Be more efficient. Use your resources you have. And if you think about it, it can be done. I don't know how we're doing with time, but yeah, I think we're almost there. We can open it up for questions.
Great.
Then something else I wanted to share with you because it's really helped me with my journey. I'm sure you would have heard, she was in tech, then she was in engineering, she moved to, it will keep happening. All I know is that change for me will be the only constant thing. In your journey in trying to be limitless, I think you should be open to change. That's why I don't believe I know it all. And I put it there, be in that continuous learning mode. I never knew I could write until I turned 40. The first proper article I wrote, I was 40. On my 40th birthday, I was reflecting on the week and I wrote an article. Before then, I would tell you, I love to read, I don't write. I'm like, oh no, I can write a couple of lines for emails, but I don't do that writing thing. But by the time I was like 42, I was already publishing a book. You don't even know yourself. That's the truth. We're all evolving and discovering ourselves. So be open to continuous learning as well. I love what you guys are doing, because the more you're feeding yourself, you're actually fully discovering yourself and all the skills and innate abilities you have. Try new experiences. That's what I do when I'm kind of stuck. When I'm stuck, sometimes people call it creative block, but even generally, when I'm like, you have your goals, you achieve your goals, you don't know what to do next, or you're just generally stuck, what I do to myself is to try new experiences. Because I know when I open myself to new, I just get new information, or I get inspired differently, and I see things from a different angle. So that's another way you could help yourself when you're trying to navigate change, or when you're trying to be open to change, is to expose yourself to something it doesn't know, or it hasn't seen before, or it hasn't experienced. You'll be shocked the amount of ideas. So I get ideas from all kinds of places, even ideas from my job. I think I was speaking to Ronke. I was telling her I got one of my big sales job. It was nothing to do with sales. I was on my own journey, having coffee with people, because I told myself I wanted to meet people that were not in tech. And I was looking for anybody that was not in tech. I want to have virtual coffee with you, or coffee with you once a week. I look for someone. That is how I ended up closing my largest deals in sales. So it kind of comes full circle. So if you could go for that, operating from that place of strength, yours might not be having coffee with people. Whatever your strength is, if you keep at it, trying new experiences, exploring it, you end up coming full circles to your goal. There's something I thought I should share as well when we talk about being open to change, is also your narrative. I believe in shared interest narrative. I think she understands what I mean. Another way I call it is that I don't really think politics is a bad thing. I just think people don't have shared interest. Um, Loads and loads of time. I find that when people are aligned and interest is shared, it looks like they're on your side. When interests are not shared, it now seems like they are political. So human beings by nature have a tendency to align with people they connect, or they feel there's a common interest. So maybe I'll tell a story to explain that. So the guy that I wouldn't say deprived me, but had hindered me from getting my first management job would 4 years later be the sponsor for that same management job. Maybe out of, I don't know, was it guilt? I don't know. But I think one thing that was really key when I reflect on the process is that once our interests were aligned, he was all over. So 4 years before, he had another candidate because of some of his interest. So it looks like I wasn't good. So I would do interviews, and he wouldn't probably give me the marks or the scores. He felt like, oh my gosh, you're married, you got kids. Why do you want to do this job? Why do you want to go to another country? You're going to destroy your marriage. What's going to happen to you? Those things were never my problem. And I never discussed to him I had a challenge with it. But of course, he was trying to feed me that narrative, hoping that I would own it and I would stop worrying about trying to be ambitious on the job. I left the company for 2 years. I later came back. The fourth year, which is 4th year after this, our first little issues, I was doing something entirely different. So I was now with another team and all that. But I was passionate about women. I was promoting diversity. And he was meant to be like the diversity chair for the company. And he wanted me to join his team and help with the diversity work. And at the end of the day, he became like my champion for management position. Like, he was giving me access to things I had no clue existed in the company. He was literally sitting at tables and using his own access to open doors for me. Wow. So I have realized that literally, whatever you call politics is just a game of shared interest. So as you navigate your experiences, if you put that in perspective, you wouldn't take it personal. If it doesn't work this time, don't burn bridges. Just know that maybe our interest is not shared this time. When I was moving to sales, so from sales to from engineering to sales, one of the guys that made it difficult for me to be in that engineering team. So I became an engineer. I was working, everything was okay. Then all of a sudden, somebody was put in my department. Apparently, I later found out that he was having a tough time in the country he was living with his boss. There were altercations that they didn't want him in the country. And rather than the company to deal with it, they looked for somewhere they could just send him. So they sent him to my own country. He was so difficult to work with. And because I was young, probably naive, he was playing games. He would cut me out of emails. He would tell the client he's the only person responsible for the project. He would have meetings with the clients. He was really playing like really dirty. And me being young, I was just frustrated. Like, why is he doing all this? What's wrong with him? I thought we should be collaborating. He had an agenda. He wanted to go work for the client. So he thought that if he projected himself as an expert and the only expert, the client, once that opening came, he knew an opening was coming up, would be interested to have him move over. And I didn't have any agenda like that. I just wanted to know why we couldn't collaborate and work. So it was so difficult that because I didn't have so much to do, when I was offered a project and they told me, hey, if you take this project, there's no promotion. We wouldn't increase your salary and there's nothing else. We just need someone to do it. And that's the only reason we are looking for someone to do it. Because the headquarters told us if we don't do it, they won't give us a checkbox. And I'm like, anyway, I don't have much to do. I'll do it. If nothing more, I'll learn. So I was like, oh, I will learn. It's new technology. But I did it, even though they told me it hasn't been successful in other countries. It became successful. It was good. And now everybody wanted to do the project. At the time I finished the project, the head of that unit where I ran the project was the first person that offered me that sales role. Like, you know what? Come work for me as a salesperson. And I thought it was joking because it was on a Friday. We were celebrating the milestone. The project had achieved a big milestone. The client now wanted it as a main project. So because we were celebrating, I felt, oh, this guy is just, I told him, I said, it's a Friday, you have a drink in your hand. If you talk to me on Monday, I'll take it, I'll take you seriously. He would later go to this other guy that I had a difficult relationship with, appeal with the guy to come talk to me. And the guy will come and make a strong case on why he thought I should move to sales. So just to let you know that I've just discovered really try not to, the enemy thing doesn't work. It's just that the interests are not aligned. Just change that narrative and move on. So with that, don't worry, we're making sure that we stick to the time and we can open up. Anybody knows what that number stands for? Let me hear some voices.
1 million and no, that's not 1 million.
It's actually 1 billion.
Well, yeah, because that's 9 zeros.
1 billion, 70 million.
Facebook, number of people on Facebook, but that would be a drop. It's supposed to be 2 billion.
No. Facebook is more than 1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save you guys. It's the number of searches for problem solving 50 seconds on Google.
Wow.
It's just to tell you that the world loves problem solvers.
Wow.
I'm just putting it out there. And that's what I work with. Your goal is to solve problems. Then people will come. People will come. Just go solve problems. Whatever, it could be skincare problems, presenting a good brand of themselves problems, confidence problem. You are just using the tools you have to help them solve it. Go solve problems and people will come. Even in your day job, because that's how I've always approached my job. My goal is to make sure I uncover that client's problems and solve it. And that's it. Shared interest, it all aligned. It's only when you are missed, when you're not trying to solve the problem, you're trying to force, because that's what I thought sales was, I thought sales was people trying to force things down your throat when you don't want it or you don't need it. It was later, because when they told me you're so good at it, no, that's not what I do. I just solve problems. Okay, that's sales. That's what we're looking for. Who will solve the problems?
That's it.
But I have realized time and time again, the world loves problem solvers. If you go with that mindset, people will come in whatever you're doing. It could be in your day job, it could be in your Mary Kay business. If your goal is, what is the problem for this segment of the market or this sector, and how can I solve it? It could be your office, it could be your career. If you go with a mindset and look for the problems, it all comes. Because of course people love to celebrate problem solvers. So I would say that is one thing that has worked for me in my journey, and that's how I roll. I don't have to know Sometimes the goal is not, I don't know everything. I'm trying to uncover the problem. Then I go look for the solution. Because sometimes I don't even know the solution. So not I'm the expert all the time. But my goal is to really identify and articulate the problem statement. Then let's go look for the solution.
Wow.
I know she shared about this, but I thought I also talk about it because we're already in the slide. Because it's a good segue. You know, when earlier I told you use your superpower.
Yeah.
This is a good segue. When you have now, you know, we said you dare to be bad and identify your strengths and roll with your strengths. This is also another way you can accommodate the other places you're not so good at. Networking, collaboration. I do that a lot. Even with what you guys are doing, you don't have to all do it the same way. People could roll with their strengths, but you go and collaborate with people that can give you things you can't give. Maybe you're very good with doing in-person events, so you go with the in-person events. And I'm very good in making it virtual. And we can find way to collaborate and do things together. I am a massive promoter of collaboration. My articles, my work, because I've decided that's the way to get scale. And I want to introduce the art of doing it using technology. That's why I actually put this here. The traditional way, of course, is we like to do things in person, but we know COVID has taught us that tech can be a very good tool. So even in networking, I don't think literally in between 2020 and now, most of the people I met is on social media for different things, not just getting the job. Loads of people I have met, the first time we interacted, we got introduced, was on social media. And the relationship probably evolved and maybe became offline. So use tech a lot, even in the work you do, because if you've really defined your problem statement you're trying to solve, if you really understand your purpose, these things can be good tools for you, where you can network and see people that you can put in your circle that can support your work with you or collaborate. And sometimes you all have the same audience, but you're looking for different things from the same audience. Because if I go for the Mary Kay example, the professional women that will likely use the products to help enhance their personal brand is same the professional women that are probably more interested in leadership and management or career. So it's just that maybe that other person is focused on career for that segment, but you are focused on personal branding for that segment. But the goal is that the segment is the same. So if you can both collaborate and do things, you can feed off each other and also give value to that audience. So I would say learn to do that a lot. Apart from me using it to get a job, I use that a lot for my work. Half my clients LinkedIn. Because people ask me in the office, you are so active on LinkedIn. Wow, I found that it gives me validation a lot. If I ping a client I never knew and I said, hey, I want to talk to you about this, they check the LinkedIn profile. I'm like, what? Yes, let's talk. When do you want us to talk?
That's it.
And I do that for different things because because people feel like if you have the confidence to be that present, at least they're not talking to someone that is fake or that doesn't exist. Because that's sometimes the challenge you have is that, sometimes with the platform, social media, people can create false presence or they're not even non-existent and they just put up a profile there. And I would say that I think it's a very good tool for what you guys do. It can help you get into audiences that people haven't tapped because they've tried to go into those audiences in the traditional way. Maybe now you can have the coffee lunches, but if you can find a problem statement you can solve for that same target audience, once that audience comes to you, then you can share about other things you can give them or other valuable resources or support you can give them with whatever you're doing. So I'll say learn to use the tech tools. I do that a lot. I know last year I started doing what I call virtual coffees. I try to connect with people I feel have interesting profiles and I ask them for virtual coffee, which is basically let's have a Zoom chat and let's chat. Let's chat about, I would like to know more about what you do and I can tell you about what I do. We can see if there's any shared interest. And with that, I have met so many people that have introduced me to much more. Like I could pick someone and go all the way down to how I met her. I remember Monique on LinkedIn. We had this virtual coffee. She said I was so interested. She wanted to introduce me to another lady called Pumza. Pumza thought, wow, we should hook up and we should, join a book club together. We did that book club together. She wanted to introduce me to someone to do a speaking engagement. Then she wanted to introduce me to someone for the board. So I'm just telling you that the opportunities are massive.
Yep.
If you also use the tech tools in networking. So it doesn't always have to be, because I know now, for some of us, with all the many hats we wear, you might not really have that physical time to be in so many places at the same time. So that's a good tip I think you can use. Then finally, after all is said and done, I can almost tell that this group doesn't have this problem. Yes, you will get the headwinds, you will get the challenges, you will get all the, you know, change blow your way. But I think at the end of the day, remain ambitious. However it goes, remain ambitious in your career, in your business. Because like I tell someone, if you, like they say, if you shoot for the stars and you don't get it, you fall at the clouds. But definitely clouds could be so high that even most people are stunned. They don't get it when you tell them, this is not really what I wanted. They're like, no, 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 this is even just too good. Shoot for those, just remain ambitious in your taking risk, in managing your business. And when I mean your business, it could be your actual career and as in your business, as in, I see all of them as your business because it's
Yep.
tied to you.
Yep.
Be ambitious with that, in setting your goals. I would say set them and be ambitious, but also kind of take them lightly. That's how I move. Because if you don't achieve it, doesn't mean it's the end of the day. It means we just go, regroup. Are we readjusting? Are we setting new goals? Don't take them to heart and it's going to be the end of the world because you didn't get them. Tell the universe what you want. Time and time again, it has worked for me. I don't have the science behind it. I wish I could tell you like this is I don't know. But I just know you put it out there and it just, maybe because you become conscious of it and you start to attract people that can help you with it. Or because you talk about it, everybody remembers you for, I don't know. But I know if you put it out there, time and time again, I can tell you example and example, it comes. And a lovely group together. Lovely group because I know we all need each other. So you all need help along the way. So I guess I don't think I have to say that it will be women supporting women. It would help you as you remain ambitious. And we will support each other in different ways. I wanted to do this because I was so impressed with what you guys are doing. One of the biggest challenges we have as women is not even recognizing our strength. With the skill set to do what you're doing, you can do much. You can do so many other things. Like people literally use them. You know what we call serial entrepreneurs? They try and replicate it with different frames. So you can actually do that again and again. Take that framework and just replicate it for different things. There is nothing stopping you. But I love to see that we can do it supporting each other. I think for me, that is the highlight, that when we share our stories, others can link up to us, that the fact that we're also part of their story. So with that, I want to say, over to you. You can roll the questions in.
Wow. Please come off your mic and put your hands together for this amazing, brilliant Black woman in business. You said it. It's, even though it's your job, but it's your business. Wow, that was amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. So right there on your screen, you can see where to follow Jane.
I started following her already on LinkedIn.
Yeah, me too. I followed already.
I love that.
As well.
So your following is growing bigger tonight, right?
I started following straight after Limitless told us about the event.
Wow. I know because I'm very conscious of the fact that we are really staying long, but I would really love to take your questions.
Yes.
There's nothing I love than, having a session and we can add, because sometimes maybe I didn't say it all or in the way you had, but I would love to take your questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Jane will stop sharing her screen. Jane is also an author. Please tell them where they can buy your book. She's the author of a best-selling book.
Let me
And
bring
she's
a
a
copy of the book.
well-sought-after
Let me
speaker.
bring a copy of the book just to feel very happy this evening.
Great. And while we're waiting for her book, Madam Angel, are you there? We'll quickly take a quick infomercial. Don't touch the dial. All right, she's back.
You can find it on Amazon.
Oh, perfect.
And what's the title? Please tell them the title.
Okay, of course you could tell. So the title is Be Fearless.
Wow.
Give yourself permission to be you.
Wow. That's amazing. Be fearless. Give yourself permission to be you. That's amazing. Everybody in the Limitless team, it's all about being fearless. So everybody gets a book, right? Go and get the book. Okay, before we take questions, we just want to take a quick infomercial and we're going to stop sharing so we can really see our faces in the gallery. We crave your indulgence. Jane would like to take your questions, and she's been magnanimous enough to even spare her time to be with us. Okay, go for it, Madam Angel. Not this one, the Illuminate one.
Which one?
The Illuminate one.
Oh, okay.
The 30 seconds one.
No, that's not this one. Okay. Let me look for it because you.
Okay, we'll go for the first question. We'll go for the first question. But we wanted to show you something that can really help you put your best self forward, right? When you go for those business meetings, when you go to see a new client, when you're going to work, you want to really put your best face forward. Because did you know the statistics show that most women, who wear makeup and look good, right, get better jobs? Did you know that? Because the thinking of the employer is, if you could take time, to attend to yourself, then most likely you take time to attend to the job, right? Okay, go for it, Madam Angel, and we will take questions.
Light inspires. Inspiration becomes legacy for the woman whose influence lasts forever. Mary Kay Illuminea Extrait de Parfum, available only through your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant.
So, thank you, Madam Angel. So yes, if you want your influence to last forever, if you want your influence to really linger and carry on even after the interview, such that, the employer is like, I need to speak to that lady, then you need to contact your Mary Kay beauty consultant, because your Mary Kay beauty consultant is actually a beauty BFF. She is a lady who helps you to put your best face forward, not with everything for everybody, but with something, a set that's customized for your specific need. Please turn up your mic and let us welcome back Madam Jane to the screen. And Jane, you have a lot of people who want to ask you questions.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so I see your hands raised. First, Director Antonio, I see your hands raised. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jane, for your inspiration and the power that you've given us today. I'm so inspired. I just wanted to ask about the book, because I love to read books. So I wanted to ask if the book is in audio, Kindle, different versions.
Okay, so I do have it in Kindle. So it's in Kindle, and you can also get the paperback hard copy, but it's not yet in audio.
In audio, okay. So I'm just gonna go.
I'll probably drop a link in the chat group so you could find it.
Find it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you can send me the link as well.
Yes,
on WhatsApp, so I can forward it to the whole group as well. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Next person. So two more hands raised. Doopsy's hand is raised, but I'm trying to look for the second hand that is raised. Who is the second person?
It's Dr. Toyin.
Okay, so let's allow Dr. Tony to go first.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure seeing people who transition from one stage of life to another. I'm a medical doctor, but people think I'm mad running a Mary Kay business. And sometimes, like you said, with women, they almost put themselves in a box and think this is the only way that they should go. And I also love what you said about beyond passion, because there's a misconception that you need to have the passion before you carry on, not realizing that you can actually seek and discover your passion. And I think that was very, very powerful to actually hear you say that. So thank you so much. And it's been really, really worth being here to listen to you.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Tony. Thank you so much.
And I'm already following you as well.
Thank you. Yes, it should be beyond passion. We could start and the passion will come. That's fine.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony. Okay, over to you, Professor Mabel.
Thank you so much. Good evening, and thank you for your sacrificial love coming here to do this. And one more thing, I know because this is being recorded, and today is the 24th of October. Like, happy Diwali to our Indian colleagues, customers, and friends. Yeah. So, Jane, I hear you when you say passion, purpose. I have a purpose for life. What's your why? Be courageous. Use your superpower. Operate from a place of strength. Be smart. Be open to change. Your goal is to solve problems and remain ambitious. From your transition between engineering to sales, what challenges did you come by and how did you overcome them, and for you to remain in that place? What did you do?
Thank you. That's a very insightful question, and you're so right, because sometimes we share and people only see the good side. They don't see that there were also roadblocks along the way. So when I transitioned from engineering to sales, remember I went there because of my innate ability. People saw the way I could connect and solve problems. I said, "Oh, that's good. You come join us." And because after a while I joined them, but then I would sit in their meetings and I would be clueless. They'd be like, "Oh, we're talking about the net sales and the revenue. Did you do the TCO? How about the business case?" Now let's like I didn't know all these things you're talking about. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? What is net sales and gross margins and profitability and TCOs? Like I would struggle a bit. So one of the things I did, which is what I do when I'm always stuck in that I don't know what to do, I look for mentors. So I went speaking to some older colleagues and like, "Hey, I think I'm struggling here. I don't understand what these guys are talking about." It's becoming a struggle for me because I always feel a bit, imposter syndrome kicks in, a bit disconnected in the emails. And after a lot of discussing with some of my mentors, it was clear that I needed to acquire business skills because that was a gap for me because I was a full engineer. I didn't know anything about business. And that's when I went and did an MBA. There were different options. I could do a short course. I started reading financial magazines and, watching introductory financial business knowledge. I would subscribe for the Economist and the Financial Times and have do all that. But I think it came to the point I realized I better go and have a session where I actually studied, and it became a leverage. So that's one of the challenges I did have that I had to walk towards, because when I came back, I did the job slightly differently. So I used, like I said, all my superpowers. When I sit with the engineers, I speak like an engineer. When I go to the finance team, like the CFO, I talk the money game. And when I go to customer care, I could relate, be it organizational leaderships, management. I would just, based on the audience, the message is the same, but the delivery is different. So I was able to connect, like I was doing amazing stuff because of that. I could engage with various different people and still and it became cool for me because then I could take a big, massive project and engage with all the stakeholders and then tie it in. I get alignment from everybody because I understood how to speak to everybody in their language. So I ended up signing one of the largest deals. Even up to this day, that company in that country haven't signed a deal that large, and that's because of it. So that's one of the ways I did do that. Also, I didn't really, so I knew how to connect, but I didn't understand power bases. That's one of the things I share with you, that is shared interest, and that's what we define as politics. I feel is just if the interests align, then we say human beings have a nature to align with interest. So we are all political. That's how I see it. It's just that the interests are not aligning in my case, because it will come up time and time again. You have to read the room. That's some of the things I had to learn. I struggled in the bit initially. You have to know. I started understanding things like informal power, positional power. So some people have the positional power, so they call them the manager. And by right, you would think the manager is powerful. But you found out that the person that reports to the manager is where the power sits. They have the influence.
Tell
So
me
what I
about it.
need to, so things like that. So those are things I had to navigate. But the exposure to new knowledge helped me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Jane. Okay, we can take one more question. Anybody else? One more question before we call it a night. We'll go for a quick. Oh, right. Prof, are you ready with the spin wheel? So after this last question, we're gonna spin the wheel so we know who is getting that lip gloss. Well, if you didn't write your top 5 lip glosses, sorry, right? But you can still send it to your beauty consultant later. You get a consolation prize, okay? So, but those who obey the instruction, someone is going to get a beautiful lip gloss here today. Okay, so we got Eunice. Eunice raised her hand.
Yeah, hi Jane. This was really insightful, and I took some notes. Yeah, I learned a lot, and of course, I followed you on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, so mine is more specific. I know you've touched on some points already, which I've taken some notes. I find myself like I am in tech as well. To be more specific, I work for IBM. I've transitioned in, different areas in tech from being a developer, middleware, integration specialist to security, and then I went back to development. And then I found out, oh, I'm not still enjoying it. I want something different. And I wanted, to touch on the different things that I enjoyed in different roles. So I'm now transitioning to another role as a content and an advocate for developers, you know, taking like my passion, like presenting to clients and or going in conferences and things like that. So I'm just wondering, if there's any additional advice you can give me, because I find myself in that bubble of, finding out my passion, trying out things. I've tried a lot of things. So what additional advice can you give me, just giving myself as an example or my context?
So, in terms of additional advice on how to navigate that, how would you continue trying to do that? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think in a way, because you said you're doing it from your strength, and I think you mentioned that, like your
Yes.
current role.
Yeah, the
So
current role. Yeah.
current role. I think one of the things I could say, if I look at, reflect on my own journey is I like to walk from my place of strength, like I mentioned. So do that role, continue to do it. Like the parts of it that tie to your strength, I would say really go all out for it. You could discover more in doing that. But also something I do a lot is to expose yourself to new experiences, even at the job as well. It could be speaking to people in different units, or seeing how your project could collaborate with another. So sometimes it looks, I'm, I'm looking for the right way to, but look for ways you can collaborate with things that don't normally would look like they should fit naturally
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
So, because in also doing that exposure, you're either creating new zones or you're actually discovering parts of yourself you were not even aware of. And sometimes you get a lot of energy from that. I do, because I create something new. Because sometimes even the roles we take on, we created them. They didn't even exist in the organization. But because of doing things like this, it becomes something new, and it becomes a role that people are like, oh, you're already doing this, you're good at it. Why don't you just take the role? So I say maybe that's something you could try. You could try it in a safe way, like I'm saying, which is to collaborate with either them. I don't want to say intend because I don't think that's the right word for you. But it could be, you know, jump in on projects that you wouldn't jump in and just let me just listen to your. I do that. Listen to your presentation. Because that's another way to say it. It's like exposing yourself to something new. It will keep you on that path to literally trying to get more about yourself, because you start to get new experiences. Some of them would just click. Some of them would just be like, oh, this was good. I want to do it again. Or you start thinking, how can I infuse that into my project?
Yeah, that's really helpful because Loretta will tell you I'm one ambitious person who wants to like go ahead. I love to learn new things and stuff like that, and I really want to go ahead with my career. So that's helpful. Yeah.
Please do. Those are very creative ways you can do that. I've done that several, and they've always helped me, and they ended up becoming something big that just became something else. They had, maybe just to give an example, because I know time is off. There was once I took on a role, and the role required I learn about maybe like 1,000 new products. I didn't have the bandwidth to do that. I was meant to learn it in like less than a year and then sell that solution of the about the 100 different products to a client. So I thought, oh, an easy way is to, I found out people doing presentation is gather a couple of interns that didn't know what to do in the office, and I gave each of them one of those products to go and research and come and present. So once every Friday they will come and present, but I looked for an expert in that and paired them with the experts. So that was my job. And they will sit and present and sit and present. And of course, in like 30 days, I had a good information and a good idea of how those products sit. But the interns loved it. It ended up becoming a group, became massive, and the company wanted to make it formal and HR. So it became a plus for me. It was added as part of my leadership achievement. But that was not the goal when I started. I was just someone trying to find people to spoon feed me information in a way that I can assimilate. So try that as well. Just try something different in how you approach the role.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, boom, man. Boom. I picked that. What? That's so smart. That is so smart. What are we talking about? Wow. Thank you so much, Jane. Okay, guys, we have to wrap up the event here. If we're to stay here, we'll be here for another 1 hour, but I really want to thank everyone for making this an amazing event. Thank you so much for coming. If you were not here, it wouldn't be this type of event. So everyone on this call makes the difference. Jane, I want to thank you so much for your kindness. You are truly inspirational. You have a large heart. You just want to give and keep on giving. That I really admire about you, Jane. Thank you so much for coming on the call. And where is my Professor Doopsy? Where's our wheel? We want to spin that wheel. So yes, don't touch the dial. You have to be in it to win it. If you win and you're not here, sorry. Okay, you ready?
Sure, I'm just going to share my screen. Bear with me. Actually, hold on. Let me do something. Sorry. Right. Share sound. Okay. I'm on one screen today, so just bear with me as So I just want to make sure that we have all the names here before I spin it. Can you all see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got 12 entries here. Amarachi invited by Antonia. Itunu invited by Loretta. Vion invited by Miranda. Eunice by Loretta. Chichi, Antonia. Tolu, Jane by Angel. Fumi, Antonia. Ruzwana, Angel. Catherine, Abebi. Adeyemi, Loretta. And then Karen by Marcia. Okay. All right, so I'm just, okay, there's something in the chat room. Does it have anything to do with me, please, before I carry on?
Let's see. So it's from Selective Fumi.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna click to spin the wheel. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Somebody said their name is not there. Dr. Catherine Butcher.
Oh, Dr. Catherine. Oh no, Catherine. I think I invited Dr. Catherine. So put Dr.
Okay. All right, Doctor. Is it K or C?
C. Catherine with a C.
Catherine with a C.
Thank you.
Catherine attended. I held a party for them at their PhD.
Annabelle said her name is not there as well.
Okay.
But did they write the lip glosses that they want?
Only about 4 or 5 people did. So I've put every guest here.
That's veto power. It's supposed to
follow the rules.
Supposed to be for those who wrote the lip glosses, right? Okay. So if we spin the wheel and the person didn't write any lip gloss, then we're gonna spin it again.
Okay.
Because we're gonna pick one of the lip glosses that the person wrote
down.
Make sense? Super. So let's go.
I apologize. Annabelle, who invited Annabelle, please?
Tonya invited by Lola. Kabonda invited by Antonia.
Right.
Sorry, I'm lost.
I can see that people are now typing in there.
No. Entry over.
But they should have written.
Some people
should have
entered
written their
earlier.
list of. They should have written their list of lip glosses.
Yeah, so it's the people who wrote the list of lip glosses. That's the
okay.
Cynthia said that her name is not there and she put her lip gloss on there.
Is Cynthia a
Cynthia, you're not a guest though.
Consultant.
Awesome. Okay, spin this time.
Okay, all right then. Okay.
Hold it there.
Yeah, Rosanna put her name. She put iconic red, pink fusion, and chocolate nude.
Awesome. Right. So, Madam Angel, your guest. What's she going to get? Which one are you going to give her of the top 3 that she put in there?
Iconic red. She's a red person.
She's a red.
That's why it's her top choice.
Awesome, red hot baby. Congratulations, Roz. And Roz was the very first guest in here today. So I'm really excited to see Roz win. Congratulations. But guess what? Everybody say good news, good news. There's good news, good news.
Good news.
Oh, there's good news, baby. There's
good news.
Okay, great. So the good news is 1, take the access code, right? The access code is what you just said. Good news. Text it to the consultant who invited you here today right now. This time around, don't disobey the instruction, okay? Text it right now. You ready? Boom. 1 second. Have you texted? Text. Not on Zoom, because once we close Zoom, the person who invited you will not see what's on Zoom. Text it to her. The same place she sent you the invite on WhatsApp or text message. Text it to her quickly, like good news, good news, good news. Are you ready? Ready? Have you texted it? Have you texted it? Going. Gone. Okay, so what do you get? You get a beauty pamper session 1, you get a fabulous discount voucher 2, and you can get some amazing skincare samples for your own beauty session. Remember, we are here to help you put your best face forward so you can be your best self and you can live that best life that you want by bringing your best self, being present in your current life, in your job, in your next interview, in whatever you lay your hands on. And with that, I am dropping the mic tonight. It's a good night from me, but if you love to dance, you can hang around. Good night, baby. Boom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Limitless. Thank you
so much, Dr. Limitless. Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you to all our guests. Thank you very much. Tachichi, thank you.
Don't sleep. Wake up.